Hi, Saggy, Saggy, Saggy. Saggy, are we on? Sag, hello. It is Easter weekend. We're going to put on our Easter bonnets and we're going to go have fun, right? I love Easter. It's such a special time. I remember my mother used to always dress us, my sister and I, in matching cute little hats. We'd have hats and gloves. If you can imagine, I'm that old that we used to wear gloves. And she would sew our dresses. And I have this warm place in my heart for Easter because of that. And my mother. Anyway, let's read for you, Sag. And let's see what's going on in your love life, career, also just see what your guides have to say. First card to come up, Two of Swords. And I have a Sag rising. Most of the time, these readings will resonate for me. The Two of Swords, very interesting card to come up. Again, this is an air element. It's the element of perception, Mercury, communication, thought, if you're learning how to read the cards. And it's a 2. And so there's balance here, like mental balance at stake this month. We're going to be perhaps trying to keep our sanity by ignoring some maybe potential, I should say, messy situations, sort of just ignoring those, kind of living on the river of denial. And we've all been there. And so if there is a moment in time where you are going to feel the urge to just sort of put your back, turn your back on the mess, this will be the month. Now, we're already into the second week of April, and so you might be leaving behind situations that this weekend that you will have to face upon your return. And of course, it's Easter weekend, and so it's not a bad time to actually do that, just kind of let that stuff go. But some of you will be doing that. Now, maybe there are some phone calls that haven't been returned, or texts, or things you just don't really want. It's things that are going to kind of mess with your mojo or your zen. Again, I'm hearing from your guides that at this point that you're making that choice, and that's okay. All that stuff will be there, but you might feel better if you actually do deal with a few of those things tomorrow by Friday, so you can go away and a few less things to deal with when you get back. Next card to come up, wow, we got Swords coming up for you. It's a challenge card, and it's a page. And so we were just talking about that, actually, communication and emailing and texting and that kind of thing. A lot of, now in this digital age, a lot of the time I will see this card and I'll immediately think in the upright of someone trying to reach you, or someone who is, they like to text. They're maybe text happy. So I could see some of that going on over the holidays, and you might actually feel as if that's an easier way to reach out to people. And this seems pretty mundane, but I'm dealing with some of these issues. Just go ahead and text these people, let them know that you will be back. But it might make you feel just to go ahead and just touch them, reach out via text. Now, this could also be a child. You may have an air sign around you who's a bit of a challenge, and they're very communicative, usually a little gossipy. So something, that you might want to watch out for. Younger people also who are contacting you. And so, you don't want perhaps to dive too deeply. And I'm hearing that as well. This might be a time not the time to resolve conflict over the holidays, because it's not going to go anywhere. The communication is sort of, you know, it's immature a little bit, could be. So that's one way to look at this. But the other way to look at this is that, you know, you need a new way to communicate in order to resolve some of these issues, like a new form, a fresher form of communication, to really get underneath some of these unresolved issues. And so I'm hearing from your guides that if you're looking for ideas in terms of how to communicate out, you might want to go to YouTube actually and learn something, because oftentimes this card is a card of knowledge, and just sort of, you know, become a student of knowledge to resolve this conflict, which could be something you just haven't wanted to deal with. But, you know, you can get some tools maybe by watching some YouTube videos, and that's coming up. And so if you feel as if there's some certain people have skeletons in their closet that you don't want to deal with, or you've got skeletons, or, you know, just these, you know, if you're conflict adverse, if you run from conflict instead of charging into it, conflict's not a lot of fun, and Sagittarius is a lot of fun. So the one thing you're not going to do is try to pick a fight with somebody. That's just not your style. So there is some advice from your guides, and they're saying that you can learn how to maybe come at this from another standpoint via technology. Again, another sword card. Okay, 10 of Swords coming up for you. This card is no fun. I know you guys are going to be mad at me when you see this, but it is coming up. So we have the 10 of Swords, and that basically says that, tells you that you have something, be careful, again, over the holiday weekend, Sagittarius. Card can speak to just a plain old accident, but forewarned is forearmed. And so again, if you decide to ignore whatever issue this is, it can play itself out. And again, Sagittarius is not going to like this reading, so I'm going to do a 5th card for you. It can play itself out all the way. So by ignoring the situation, it could get you in the end. So you really don't want to do that, or it could get someone around you in the end. What you really want to do is deal with it and, you know, come up with a new way to solve this issue. It's going to require communication. It's going to require reaching out. It's going to require communication via text, email. It's very much could be the written word, telephone call. Something needs to be worked out here so that you might be able to avoid this. Now, this is unexpected, so it just comes out of nowhere, which is also good. It comes and goes, and it could possibly not even be noticed because it's so quick. But you know, basically what's happening is you've had it, and it's had you. So you're going to be done and done. And that's good, because after the 10, we have the 1, and you're going to go back to Ace of Swords. You'll be in control again. You'll be in charge. So let's see. I'm going to read. Now we have the Devil reversed. So the Devil's, you know, is better than the devil you don't. And that's kind of what this situation is all about. So that may be why we're in this sort of quandary, not wanting to deal with a conflict, because we already know that devil. It's already getting to us, but it's not as bad as the devil we know. So, you know, again, I feel like Sagittarius, this reading is this is your guides saying, look into this situation going on and find some new ways to deal with a solution here, because you don't want it to get to you or your health. You don't want to over medicate, or over shop, or just trying to hide from the effects of whatever is going on. It's really a warning, I guess. And this is a serious Sagittarian reading. And again, you guys aren't going to like me for it, but it's really a warning to take care of what you need to take care of, because you certainly don't want to, gravitate toward unhealthy habits. Medicate instead of dealing with this. And again, it could cause backache. It could cause, it's just, you don't need any of that, Sag. So, okay, so at the end of it, what do we have with the King of Pentacles? He is reversed, but still a good card. I'm seeing this king come up, and I just want to say that somebody's got your back. They're not real happy about it, but they do. And so you can feel good about the fact that you've got a safety net. And again, you're going to have to probably take the blinders off right up front at the beginning of the month. That's really the way to turn all this around as quickly as possible, is to take the blinders off and deal with the situation at hand. And find a new way of dealing with it, or employ the help of someone who has new ideas, fresher ideas, because it's just really, it's really better, I guess. In the end, it's better to go ahead and at least see what's happening while it's happening. It's like you would rather run into oncoming traffic, and I know you guys are not going to like this reading. I'm going to do another card actually, and see the cars coming at you, than have someone blindside you from the back. And that's kind of what I'm hearing here. But somebody has your back, and that's very good. And then here comes another king, King of Swords. Again, two kings reversed at the end. So again, taking care of the situation as best you can, so that you don't have any legal issues. You don't have to deal with unhappy bankers or lawyers or anything like that. I hear that as well. And also, the main thing is you're going to get through this. I'm going to do one more card. Ooh, there we go. This is what we spoke of. Communication. Get out there and communicate. Let everyone know where you're at, what you're doing, and ask for help. Also, that's coming up. And in the end, you're going to be able to hang on to what you want. I'm throwing another card in here because this is such an intense reading. But in the end, you'll be able to hold on to what is yours. You're going to be able to take ownership of what you have. You'll be able to really sort of get a sense of where you're at. And that's kind of, even though you start out with all this stuff going on with the Ten of Swords and all the devil cards and everything, you're going to know where you're at in the end. And even though it will unhinge you for a little while, you're going to know where you are. But this is a tremendous reading. This is a reading which tells you, Sag, that for some of you, that it's time to take off the blinders, deal with some issue that's been haunting you, and find new ways of taking care of conflict so that it doesn't get to you in the end, because you've got a couple of people coming at you, perhaps, over this issue, and you want to make sure that in the end you know how to deal with this that's kind of what's going on here. So interesting reading. It's not for everyone, Sag. If this doesn't resonate with you, watch your rising, watch your moon, watch your Venus, relationship stuff. More fun in there. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions about this reading, go ahead and comment. This is a big reading for Sag, for some of you, not all of you again. Sometimes I get these messages and I know that they're specific for certain people, and they're so specific that the way we read it feels like I'm reading for one person, and not every Sag in the universe, that's for sure. But the good news in this reading is that you did get this Ten of Swords, so it's like putting it to bed, resolving these situations. And I do feel like some communication is going to come your way that isn't going to feel real good from these two kings. But then again, in the end, at least you take stock of where you're at. And I think, it's at least nice to know where you are. That's not bad. So thanks. And I'm going to read again soon for everyone, and have a wonderful Easter weekend. Again, take that blindfold off before the weekend. If anything's bothering you, go ahead and deal with it, because in the end, it's really going to help you and have some peace of mind and enjoy the holidays. Okay, bye.